formula. And then we're going to have plus sign. In the other set of parentheses, we're going to have y minus k squared. And then in the back is r squared. So h and k are going to be some numbers. H and k, kind of like y equals mx plus b from like pre-algebra and stuff. So h and k are going to be some kind of numbers, and that's going to represent the center of the circle. And then r is going to be what? Radius. The radius, because r, and we're circles, r is radius. So what we're going to do is we're going to be given a center and a radius, and we're just writing the equations. So if my center is 5, 3, 5 is going to be h, k is going to be 3, h and k, radius is 2. So we're just going to literally plug in the numbers. So in the first set of parentheses is x. I have a minus sign in the formula. What is my h? 5 power 2 plus y minus what? 3 squared equals, your radius is 2. So what's 2 squared? 4. And voila, you're done. Yeah, come here. That's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes. So in the next one, you have a minus sign in the formula, but it's minus already because it's negative. A minus and a negative come together to make a plus. So this is going to be x plus 1. Plus y, is it going to be plus or minus 7? Minus 7 equals 196. So the key is it's basically always opposite of the brackets. So if it's a positive center, then you have minus minus. If you have a negative center, then it's plus. So if it's positive, it's a minus. If it's negative, it's a plus. So it's literally opposite of the brackets. So the next one gives you the center and it gives you the diameter. So the radius is not 18. A diameter is the whole distance of the circle. So how much is my radius if it's 18 for the diameter? 9. So my r is actually 9. So you're not using 18 to square it. You're using 9 to square it. Yes. So what's going to be in my first set of parentheses? Good. Good. Easy peasy. Try number 4. Finance, finance. This is on your test. Hopefully everybody can get this right. But you would be surprised. Just oh yeah. So this one, you instead of putting x plus 0 or x minus 0, that can be simplified to just x. So it's x squared. And then what's going to be in the other parentheses? Y minus 9 squared. And then if my diameter is 32, how much is my radius? 16. So then 16 squared is 256. Yeah. We feel okay? Nice. Okay. Next one is the x plus or minus. Perfect. Plus y squared equals. Now this is a little weird. It's the square root of 47. I'm squaring the square root of 47. So it's just 47 again. Because when you square and you square root, it contradicts itself. It like goes back. So if you're not sure, if you literally do 47 shift square root, you get a decimal, and then you're squaring it, it goes back to 47 because squaring and square rooting are back and forth. So it's just 47. So try to write the very last one. Oh, thank you. Okay, so what's the first set of parentheses? Yup.
Plus y.
Beautiful. Okay. So next thing is literally the same, but now I'm giving you a graph. Now this is really ugly because I had to like run around and steal other people's copies because I'm out of copies. So if I would have known this before, I would have like fixed the graph, but my bad. So what we need to do is we need to make this a darker line. So see this little X, the y-axis? So take your pencil and make it a little bit darker. My bad. And then let's take our x-axis and make it a little bit darker. So here's a circle on a graph. Voila, a circle. You need to write the equation for the circle. So you need to find two things. First thing you need to do is find the center. That's a coordinate point. That's H and K. Then you're going to use the center to figure out the radius going from the center out to the side, figure out how long the radius is. So take a second, figure out what your center is. Nope. 3, -2. And then you got to find the radius. So you're going from your point, and now you don't want to go diagonal. You're just going straight to the side or straight up to get to the edge. So what is it? Radius is 5. So same thing. Take a second, write your equation. Easy peasy. So your x should say minus, your y should say plus. And in the end, you should have 25. How do we feel? This is great, right? We love this. Easy peasy. Okay, cross out 8, cross out 9. Cross out 10. Cross out 11. We're gonna make it a little bit harder just by, instead of giving the radius, we need to find the radius. So in this case, we're gonna be given either the circumference or the area. These formulas are on this sheet. It's also on your blue sheet that you get for the EOC, the reference sheet. So circumference is like the crust of your pizza. It's like the outside. So for circumference, your formula is 2 pi r. So they tell me my circumference is 6 pi. I know my center. Based on the circumference, I need to figure out what the radius is. And then I'm going to write the equation. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to equal it to 2 pi r. And just like we did the first day of circles, we're going to solve for the radius. So what can I cross off on both sides? Pi, because pi can like be left. Now what do? Divide by 2, and that's it. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So because this is 2 times the radius, this is 6 pi. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So my radius is 3. So now you can use your radius and your center to write your equation. So you still have H and K. Radius is 3. So what's in your first set of parentheses? Perfect. So your X should have a plus sign because it's negative. Your Y should have a minus sign because it's positive. And then R squared is 3 squared, which is 9. Okay, try 13. 13, you get a decimal for the radius, but it's like a nice decimal. It's like 0.5. It's okay. You can get a decimal. So try to set it up. Literally basically one step to find the radius. You're literally just dividing by 2. So what's your radius? 8.5. So write your equation. So what sign should be in both of these? Plus signs or minus signs? Minus. Good, because they're both positive, so they're both negative now. And then if I take 8.5 and I square it, 72.25. And if you put 0.3, it's okay. It doesn't say like what to round to, so whatever. Okay, so now the next two are similar, but instead of circumference, so circumference formula is 2 pi r. Area is a different formula, which is on your formula sheet. Area is equal to pi r squared. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to use the different formula because it's area instead of circumference. So I know my area is 16 pi. So I'm going to do 16 pi equals pi r squared. Same thing. Pi's automatically cancel out. I cannot divide by 2 for this. You square root it because the opposite of squaring to the power of 2 is square rooting. So what is my radius? My radius is 4. Last time it was 2r, so I divide by 2. This one's r squared, so I square root it because that's still opposite operation. Does anybody notice something a little weird? It just goes back to 16. Plus 11 squared equals 16. The reason why is because in the formula you're squaring r, and then in the circle formula you're also squaring r. So you're square rooting it, but then you're just going to square again. So it's going to always end up being that same number for area because you're once again contradicting yourself. You're square rooting it and then you're just squaring it at the end anyways. So for this one, automatically without doing any math, what's going to be my radius? Yeah, like not my radius isn't 361, but like that in the back of the equation is just going to be 361. So take a second, write your equation for 15. No, you don't have to, because either way, if you take the square root of 361 and then you're square rooting it and then you're squaring it, back to 361 anyways. But if you're not sure, because you're probably not going to remember that weird trick, if you solve for it, you're going to get the same answer. And then you're like, oh yeah, we talked about that one day. Okay. We like this, right? Okay, let's do the last couple and then you guys can start working on what you need to do. So same thing, but now I give you the equation. So what's my center for the first one? 5, 1. And then what would be my radius? 8, because you're square rooting because you're going backwards. So normally we square the radius. To go backwards, we're square rooting. Okay, so this one, what's my center for 17? Negative 7, 2. No. So my radius, if I square root this, what's my radius? 18. But I want the diameter. Multiply by 2, so you get 36. Okay, so try the next two. Yeah, the radius for 19 is passing on. Okay, so for 18, what's my center? 0, -10. My radius, if I square root this, is how much? 6.5, but I want the diameter. So times 2, which is 13. The next one, what's my center? 6, -11. It's like, yeah, this one's not cute. If you, yeah, 7.6. So we'll just say 7.6. Because if you square root that, that's not a perfect square. So by the way, we're gonna skip the last one. So everything else on the front you can skip. Anything I skip, you skip. Okay. On the back, we're gonna cross out a bunch, and then you're gonna work on this. You're not turning it in. I'll check it tomorrow. Then you're gonna do the trig review. You're not gonna turn it in because I'm trying to get away from that. So don't turn that in. And then you can start working on the test review. So on the back, you can cross out numero 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 21. And then I'm going to show you like the list of, because I know there's lots of like papers. So in order of what I think you should do first. I think you should do this first, and then you need to go back and do the trig review from yesterday that I gave you if you haven't done that. And then you can start working on your test review, because tomorrow you're going to get a new paper, one paper. So I'm going to leave this here so that way you like have an order, just because like there's a lot of papers going on. The day of the test, but I don't collect the test reviews ever. I look at them whenever I do binder checks, because if you don't do the test review, you're just gonna fail the test. So it's kind of like a when she gets back. You know, that's kind of true. I waited though. That's true. She did wait. It's okay. Just go with. I got tissues. I know.
I told you.
It was 7, and then it was
Most of them were easy, so we didn't really cross out any.
cross off. Just pick 2 other ones on the right side. Do. It doesn't really matter. Just pick 2 sides.
No.
Yeah, they're not bad. So pick like one on each phone or something. She's all right, you know.
She's all right.
She's all right. But she's like my own offspring, so I like. But
So you're
sometimes
like-
I could be like Evelyn, like
Like you tan, because whenever I see you, you're always tan.
I'm outside like every day. I go in my pool like every day. Take Evelyn to the park like every day. We go bike riding like every day.
Also, she'll be tan when she's older.
She's tan right now. This girl is so tan. You want to see her pictures? It's like kind of weird. Like, this was us on Easter. Oh, sure.
What'd you do?
We went to my mom's house.
Eat good food.
Yeah, she makes like a ham. She goes like all out.
My family made burgers.
She's pretty tan for like a white kid.
She is pretty tan.
Yeah. Well, during summer she gets like dark. I'll tell you one from like this is like literally Easter, so like it's like pale season right now because everybody is pale. But over summer, it's like where's the first day school?
I'm always pale. There's no other shade. I'm always pale. There's like that. I burn. Actually, my shades are and then dark red. It's like near you.
This is my first day of school. She is looking whiny tan. Those photos. It's pretty tan.
Yeah, she is awesome.
Oh, yeah. But that's because over summer it's like we go to the beach like every day. I can't tan today. I don't know how to do that.
I can run the bridge and walk outside the back.
And then I'm oh yeah.
You're like an automatic. Like,
What are you? Like Filipino? Yeah.
you're trying this out. You're green.
Well, my best friend growing up was Filipino and she was like
Like black.
Like actually, like. Black, dark. Black, oh, so dark. You have to cut it in half. So the diameter is 34, so you cut it in half.
Oh, right.
And then you're not square rooting. So it's getting bigger. I think the next one you get. Dude, this is easy.
Yeah, I know. I just need to use the restroom really bad. So I'm just. Hey. Hey,
Yeah. I was watching. It's making oh radio sound. Yeah, I guess. I know the bus. Oh, that was good. I was so. Everybody's there. Say it all over. I don't think it's the radio.
The radius is not 0. So from the center of the eye. Oh, of the sun.
Okay. But why do you like those things?
Honestly, just gonna ask my consideration.
Like obvious. Wait, we're gonna figure it out.
So we're rooting 16, but so that's 17. Oh, yeah, so there's no false.
Which I think is
Yo. Come on.
Oh my gosh, I stopped the past.
my cats.
It's not like next week we have PM3.
I didn't stop recording it. Stop.
Next week we have